So welcome. Uh, Introducing our beautiful white belt trainer in Australia, Sophie Marsh, and we're just going to be talking about the white belt and what is involved. So Sophie, NIA is based on this belt system for trainings. Can you just elaborate and explain that a little bit further, please?
The NIA training system is modelled after the martial arts, and a lot of NIA is inspired by martial arts, dance arts and healing arts. And the belt system comes from the martial arts, where we have the white belt, the blue belt, the brown belt and the black belt laying the foundation of NIA's 52 principles. Different from the martial arts though, the NIA trainings don't have any kind of testing. It's really just a way of inviting students to step into learning more about themselves, learning more about NIA, and reaching their potential through this system.
Oh, lovely. So white belt is that's the first level of training. Just confirming that.
Yeah, so the white belt's the first level of the training, and that's where the first 13 principles are delivered. And the focus of the white belt is the art of sensation. So it's really about coming back to the voice of the body and receiving tools and practices and principles that help people feel more embodied, and then can choose how to use this somatic education to either live and transform for their own personal growth, or whether they want to share NIA.
Right. So my understanding, so those wanting to do the white belt, to me, there's two paths. So one is that personal growth transformation that people do for themselves. That's a personal growth, and the other is that, but it's also included that they want to step out and share NIA in their communities by becoming a teacher. Can you just elaborate on those, the differences between those paths of people who come to the white belt training?
Sure. NIA itself, I guess describe it as a workout, a practice and a lifestyle. And so the NIA white belt really reflects that. Coming into the training, there are two paths that people tend to take. One is that personal growth transformation path, where they come in desiring principles and practices for self-discovery, self-mastery, self-healing. And then the other path is for those who are excited by what NIA delivers and want to share that either as a teacher of classes or to integrate it into their existing profession. So the difference really, as far as the white belt goes, is that everybody comes into this foundational training regardless of their intention. The white belt is the entry point for everybody. And then from the white belt, there are choices in terms of how you want to continue your NIA journey. If your desire is to be a teacher of the practice, then you can take out a teacher membership, which is offered by our NIA HQ, and they receive a comprehensive business and marketing package in addition to access to NIA TV. And as a teacher, there's a lot of information, continuing education about embodying and sharing NIA that is available through the NIA TV portal to those who take out that membership. Those who desire to step in for their own personal growth may even take out that teacher membership just so they have access to that incredible continuing education, but that's not required. Really, they can from there step back into their classes and really receive the richness of NIA's teaching in a more felt sense.
So how long is the white belt training?
Well, the white belt training is a 6.5-day training. Like any NIA experience, that the white belt is about coming back to the body, to listening to your body, and to moving and participating to your level of ability and experience. So there's no expectation of having to be super fit. There's no expectation of ever having done a NIA class. It really is for all ages, all levels of fitness, and little or no experience to students who've been taking classes for years.
So 8 o'clock, like I'm not going to be dancing and moving all day, am I?
We're not going to be dancing and moving all day. So yes, they are long days, and there's a blend of information, cognitive download of the principles and practices, lots of really juicy education that is delivered while you're seated. And then there's an opportunity to, after receiving that information, to research it in your body. So we took it onto the dance floor as a way of experiencing these principles so that we can then step out of the white belt knowing how to practice them in our own classes and in our own lifestyle.
So just say, I mean, white belt as a personal growth transformation. Can you explain why do you think it's so important for people to embody and come back into their bodies in today's society and the way we live? What's that kind of get for people?
So many people come into the white belt really desiring to come back to their body. So many people come back to the white belt really desiring to come back to their body. And in this very head-driven world, certainly it's very easy to get caught up in busyness and in thinking and to override the voice of the body and the messages our body is sharing. And so the white belt is a reminder for us to really come back to the intuitive intelligence of the body, to the wisdom that is there, and to be able to listen to that and understand it so that you can consciously respond to what your body is telling you. Nia is a pleasure-based practice, and it means really being able to sense into the body and choosing a path of what feels good with the intention of igniting life force and really creating a sense of aliveness that comes when we choose pleasure as a pathway.
So when people describe Nia, they do describe it as a mind, body, mind, emotional and spirit kind of practice. Can you just touch on each one of those realms, I guess, in relation to maybe what people would receive in a white belt?
The Nia was created over 35 years ago by Debbie Roses and Carlos Aya Roses, and one of their intentions in creating Nia was to create a body, mind, spirit practice, a practice that recognized that we are more than just flesh. And so then white belt really elegantly addresses the body, and yet acknowledging that we are more than just a body, that we have this incredible ability to think and perceive and to know and imagine and to visualize. So the white belt begins to lay the foundations of Nia's pathway as a multi-dimensional practice, and it's focused on the body, but we also acknowledge that there is this thinking, intuitive, imaginative part to us, the mind, that we are feeling beings, and that when we move and dance, often emotions will be evoked. There's nothing like music that can bring you back to a moment in time or an emotion in time. So Nia consciously helps people to express and move and free emotions. And then the spirit is our uniqueness, and Nia invites everybody to express their own unique way of being in the body and being in life through the movement. So it's no cookie cutter practice. It's really an invitation for people to find their own unique expression of the practice.
One thing I have come to understood from people who have taken the white belt is a real sense of community and friendships that are formed during that training. Have you seen that, witnessed that yourself?
One of the most beautiful pieces of Nia that I've witnessed is this sense of community that evolves with the practice. Nia draws together amazing people from all ages and all walks of life, and I guess the common thread is this desire to really live an embodied, authentic, expansive life, and often for people who are desiring to make a difference on the planet and know that needs to begin with themselves. So when you bring a group like that together, something pretty magical happens. And I've never known a group of people to really authentically support each other in such a beautiful heart way as the Nia community. There's also no pressure to be part of something if that's not your thing. Everything is about choice in Nia, and I really appreciate that there is these beautiful circles of community and ripples of change that are happening if you choose to be part of that, and at the same time, if you don't, that's okay too.
So for those people that might have an interest in white belt. Certainly it sparked their interest to delve a little bit further into what it is and what's on offer. If those people are kind of sitting on the fence and going, oh, I'm not too sure, is it for me or is it not, what would be a message for you to those people who are kind of just still, not too sure?
I often get a phone call from someone that says, you're going to think I'm crazy. I've just read about NIA, or I've just read about this white belt thing. And it just really called to me, I've never done NIA before, or I've only done one class at a retreat. Can I do this? And it's that very felt sense of the pull, as Debbie Roses would like to say, that we sense, that we say, follow that voice of, oh, there's something here for me. And then sometimes when we feel that, then this other voice comes in, this voice of self-doubt, or the voice of maybe a voice from our past, or a parent or a family member. And so often we then sabotage that voice of yes with oh, maybe I can't, or who am I to, or maybe I'm not supposed to yet. And so I would say to trust the voice that says yes, and also to pick up the phone and call me, knowing that at any time, if you have questions or concerns about, can I actually do this, I'd love to talk with you and find out if the white belt is the right path for you.
So how do people sign up for the white belt if they've decided to do it? What's their next step?
So to sign up for the white belt, there's a two-stage process. The first part is to go onto the NIA Now website, and you'll see a tab that says trainings. From there, they can drop down to white belt, and all the white belts in the world are listed. In Australia, our next white belt training is happening in Brisbane from the 7th to the 13th of January. There's also another training already scheduled for May as well. And so clicking on the white belt training that you would like to register for, you'll be asked to pay the deposit. And NIA being a US-based company, that deposit is paid in US dollars, and it's $799 to secure your spot in the training. The second part to the registration is paying the final balance, which is paid in Australian dollars here. And for the January training, we have a wonderful early bird offer that if you register and pay by the 24th of December, there's a $100 discount to that. So your balance would be $699 US dollars, about 960 Australian dollars.
That sounds like the perfect Christmas gift to someone lucky. Now, man or woman, can both. Like, is the white belt open to all genders?
Yeah. So the white belt is open to men and women. My truth is that in Australia, most of the time it's mostly women in the circles. Just like in most NIA classes, men are very welcome to join, and but in most classes, the majority is women. There's also no age limit. We've had students, teenagers, who've joined us for the white belt, and then we've also had people in their 80s complete the training here in Australia. Internationally, it's been taught to children as young as 6, and I believe there are graduates who are in their 90s. So yeah, definitely age is no barrier, and gender is also no barrier.
Great. That sounds absolutely fabulous, and such a joyful practice to be in. So I thank you and really appreciate your time taking that and just diving a little bit deeper into the white belt. And hopefully we'll see you on the dance floor.
Yeah, and I'd just like to speak to the day. So that what to expect in a day would be that we usually start at around 8 o'clock, and we step in and have a beautiful practice we call creating the space. From there, we'll do a class every day, and in between, we're receiving the practices and principles of NIA. Some of that time is spent seated, a lot of that time is spent on the floor, or bring your own chair or cushion for comfort. And then we're also then moving in a way that feels very sustainable to explore those practices in an embodied way. So there's a time of movement and a time of stillness, a time of movement and a time of stillness. That means that, by the end of the day, you're feeling full, but not exhausted. And certainly the most people feel like at the end of the training they feel a new level of energized and aliveness that that they didn't even know was possible.
Thank you.